Hallihallo und herzlich willkommen zurück. Ich bin hier immer noch in diesem creepy Ding da. Habe ich schon erwähnt, ich mag keine Keller. Und es hat 100 Pro irgendwas noch mit diesem Sicherheitssystem auf sich. Alter, wie tief geht das hier? Oh mein Gott, das ist so creepy. Das ist wahrscheinlich das nächste. Es leuchtet so schön. Warte, ich nehme mein Handy wieder. Bereit für alles.
Preliminary toxicology results shows no signs of inebriation. However, a high amount of cortisol was found, indicating elevated levels of stress in the immediate moments before death.
Was? Nochmal.
Preliminary toxicology results shows no signs of inebriation. However, a high amount of cortisol was found, indicating elevated levels of stress in the immediate moments before death.
Mhm. Irgendwie ist es creepy. Warum mache ich eigentlich diesen ganzen? Ich sehe hier nichts. Hatchen. Ich drehe mich gleich um und er steht da hinter mir oder so. Der Clive. Hallo, ich bin Clive. Und ich will, dass du das rausfindest, weil dann kann ich dich ermorden oder keine Ahnung. Wo kam ich denn her? Siehst du, da ist immer noch Hausmeister. Sag mal, was steht denn da? Blablabla. Steht da, okay. Was ist das? Was ist das? Das ist doch bestimmt so ein Computerding. Da kommt das nächste. Alter, wie weit muss ich noch laufen? Das geht da hinten noch weiter. Das ist nicht safe, Leute. Das ist einfach nicht safe. Warte, mein Handy wieder bereit, damit ich noch 50 Bilder machen kann.
Additionally, there appears to be a post-mortem injury to the arm. It looks like it was trapped in a car door.
Autotür. Das sind doch jetzt 3 verschiedene Menschen oder mindestens 2. Alter, wie lange muss ich denn noch? Da ist ein Zettel und ein Dings. Der will mich doch verarschen. Warum mache ich diese Schatzsuche hier? Der verarscht mich doch nach Strich und Faden, der Typ. Ich will nicht mehr. Ich will wirklich nicht mehr. Der steht doch gleich da und sagt Hallo. Bleib hier. Da hinten ist doch wieder was. Das ist wieder ein Schreibtisch mit Zeug, Alter. Mausefalle. Ah. Kann ich die Zeitung lesen? Nö. Jetzt muss ich mich wieder bücken. Weil wir können ja nichts dingsen. Ja, ist ja klar, dass auf dem Schreibtisch noch was ist. Oh Mann, ey. Warum? Warum? Ich kann mich jetzt nicht auf Dingsen. Cool. Oh, Vogtjene, so. Oh, das muss ich auch nochmal nach hoch bringen. Oh mein Gott.
Now this has to be important.
I'm sorry I made you do this, Virginia. Wer ist denn jetzt Virginia? Moment, ich muss wieder Bilder machen. So, was geht denn hier? Name des Verstorbenen. George Barrow am 2.9. gegen 21 Uhr? Das stimmt doch gar nicht. Mhm. Wie geht das denn? Was? Das andere war der 3.9. Der Verstorbene sei ein männlicher, weißer, 18 Jahre alt. Erstickungsmerkmale deuten auf Ertrinken als Todesursache hin. Genau, das hatten wir. Ach, das ist alles er. Entschuldigung, Moment. So. Schürfwunde an den Füßen stammen vermutlich von einem vergangenen Schlägerei, wenn es mit der aggressiven Vorgeschichte des Verstorbenen übereinstimmt. Es wurden keine weiteren Verletzungen festgestellt. Nach Ansicht der Gerichtsmedizinerin gibt es keine Hinweise auf ein Fremdverschulden. Zusätzlich weist der vorläufig toxikologische Bericht auf einen hohen Alkoholgehalt. Hä, die hat aber eben gesagt, sie hat keinen Alkoholgehalt im Blut gehabt und er hat noch Verletzungen von dem Ding gehabt. Die Gerichtsmedizinerin ist der Auffassung, dass der Verstorbene im alkoholisierten Zustand schwimmen gegangen und im Zuge dessen ertrunken ist. Das stimmt doch gar nicht. Zeitpunkt des Todes gegen 21 Uhr. Das stimmt doch alles überhaupt nicht, was da drin steht. Das stimmt gar nicht. Und die Sullivan ist doch die, mit der wir telefoniert haben. Lalalala. Falls ich hier jemals nochmal rausfinde, ich nehme dann alle Zettel mit. Da war falsch. Ich finde das voll doof. Warum muss ich jetzt alle Zettel einzeln mitnehmen? Kommt doch bestimmt gleich einer und bringt mich um. Also ich muss das Ding noch anhören. Hab ich das schon angehört? Nee, ne? Oder?
It is the coroner's opinion that the subject likely feared for his life and was chased, resulting in a fall from a height into a body of water,
Oui.
where he hit his head, was knocked out, and drowned. Following that, he was moved.
Dr. Sullivan, we need to have a talk. Is that recording? Shut it off.
Okay, warte.
It is the coroner's opinion that the subject likely feared for his life and was chased, resulting in a fall from a height into a body of water, where he hit his head, was knocked out, and
Und dann
drowned.
kommt der Typ.
Following that, he was moved.
Dr. Sullivan, we need to have a talk. Is that recording? Shut it off.
Mach's wieder zu, ja? Das klingt halt nach Clive. Kann ich mich mal groß machen wieder? Mach einfach zu. So ist fein. Beobachtet mich doch eh schon die ganze Zeit. Hello Creeks, was? Humpty Dumpty. Hello Creeks High School. Warte. Gallow Creek High School präsentiert Humpty Dumpty, eine Geschichte über Liebe, Tragödie und Verrat. Besetzung Macy Cartwright als Dawn. George Barrel als Henry. Wann? Mary Campbell als Anne. Wann denn? Wann denn? Ist die Cartwright als Dawn. Die Dawn, weißt du, die angerufen hat mit diesem scheiß Lied da. George Barrel als Henry und Mary Campbell als Anne. Und was mache ich mit dem Anne? Ich nehme das mal mit. Also gleich, wenn ich wieder hier weg bin. Ich mache hier jetzt mal noch die Schubladen auf.
Ooh, a new vinyl for my collection.
Sehr gut, die kriegt er alleine hin. Na super. Das Problem ist, wenn wir die spielen, weiß er doch genau, dass wir da dran waren. Mhm, da sind angeblich leere Notizen drin, alles klar. Kommt doch gleich, wenn ich mir das angehört habe. Aber das andere muss ich mir noch mitnehmen. Dann habe ich 5 Sachen, die ich hochtragen muss. Das ist safe. Mit 5 Mal hin und her laufen, wenn ich das schon alles angehört habe.
If you're listening to this, then I'm probably dead.
What the?
I'm a man who likes to stay informed. I've got subscriptions to newspapers all over the country. A few weeks ago, I noticed headlines cropping up in those papers, one after the other. Each headline about a murder. Each murder, the death of someone I knew almost 20 years ago. And each one drawing closer to Gallows Creek. Drawing closer to the anniversary. None of us are innocent, but I don't think we deserve killing.
Wie viele haben das?
Now is that I can save some folk from the worst. That I can, I don't know, do something to make up for what I did back then, I guess. I didn't kill anyone, mind you, but that's past mattering. Now, there's more I could say, that I should say, but my employer made it clear that my family would pay a high price if I ever spoke out. So, hopefully I've said enough for you, listener, whoever the hell you are, to start
What the hell?
together.
Peggy is not gonna believe this.
Immer, da wird immer sowas abgebrochen, was er noch irgendwie gesagt hat. Ich höre es mir gerade nochmal an.
If you're listening to this, then I'm probably dead. I'm a man who likes to stay informed. I've got subscriptions to newspapers all over the country. A few weeks ago, I noticed headlines cropping up in those papers, one after the other. Each headline about a murder. Each murder, the death of someone I knew almost 20 years ago. And each one drawing closer to Gallows Creek. Drawing closer to the anniversary. None of us are innocent, but I don't think we deserve killing. All I hope now is that I can save some folk from the worst. That I can, I don't know, do something to make up for what I did back then, I guess. I didn't kill anyone, mind you, but that's past mattering. Now, there's more I could say, that I should say, but my employer made it clear that my family would pay a high price if I ever spoke out. So, hopefully I've said enough for you, listener, whoever the hell you are, to start putting the truth together.
Ich will hier raus. Muss hier raus. Wahrscheinlich steht der schon da vorne um die Ecke und wartet. Shit, hier war nicht raus. Hallo? Na, Mörder? Wie ist die Lage? Bringt das schon mal alles hier raus? Kann ich das irgendwo hinlegen hier? Ich brauche die ganzen Sachen oben. Aber ich kann ja nicht mit jedem einzelnen Zettel jetzt laufen. Das ist doch voll dämlich. Warum? Bestimmt nicht safe, wenn ich die ganzen Zettel damit rausbringe. Bringe ich die erstmal hoch und rede dann mit ihr? Ich rede jetzt mit ihr, glaube ich.
What have you Forrest?
It's an autopsy tape. Doesn't say for who, but I think it must be for George.
Poor George. He was so young.
Something's bugging me, Peggy.
What do you mean?
I swear I recognize the voice of the woman talking on the tape. I just can't place it.
Doch, wir wissen, wer das
Seriously?
ist.
Do you think you've met her before?
Ja.
I don't know. I mean, I just got here recently. I don't know. Found another tape. It talks more about how George died.
What did it say?
It sounds like he was running for his life. Sprinting through trees and bushes, getting cut up all over.
What would drive someone to do that?
I'm not sure yet. There's also a tape about a toxicology report. There were no signs of drinking or that he was on anything.
What? But everyone said he went swimming drunk and drowned. It was in the newspaper and everything.
I found a written autopsy report.
What does it say?
According to that, it's just like you said at the start. George drowned after getting drunk. Said he liked to fight, too.
But that contradicts the tape.
I know. And I think I know why. There's a note with the report that says, "I'm sorry I made you do this, Virginia."
If it was on the autopsy report, then Virginia must be our coroner. Wait, the caller from earlier, when we had to call the takeout restaurant, wasn't her name Virginia?
We need to call her back once we finish down here. It looks like she might know something about what's going on. I found a tape that introduces a new detail to the story. Post-mortem injury. Apparently, his arm got caught in a car door.
A car door?
Yeah, after he died. How do you suppose they can tell?
How can they tell? I'm a radio producer, not a coroner.
The written report I found doesn't mention it at all.
How did his arm get trapped in a car door after he died?
Unless he got it when the police collected his body, I guess someone else must have moved him after he was dead to where he was eventually found.
But the report, what is going on here?
I found a police report. Mentions a friend from earlier, Sandra Sharp.
Sandra. The jazz runner?
Yep,
That's right.
die auch.
She found George's body washed up at the reservoir.
The reservoir?
Yeah? What's strange about that?
George got cuts from running through foliage, right? But there's no forest around there. Also, how did it wash up at the reservoir?
What do you mean?
Reservoirs don't have tides.
But that's what the police report said.
It's not possible, though. I did a school project on reservoirs and got an A. But, yeah, not important right now. The important thing is that it doesn't make sense.
What are you suggesting then? That the body was originally found somewhere other than what the report suggests.
Ja.
That the sheriff tried to cover it up, but accidentally let something slip?
Something
Yep.
like that. I think.
Well, Sheriff Matthews wrote the report. If he hadn't been eviscerated, we could have asked him.
True. But Sandra is still alive? Once we're done down here, we should give her a call.
In another tape, the coroner comes to the same conclusion as I did. George was running from something.
Maybe an animal?
Maybe, but then there's this next bit, where the coroner thinks he was moved post-death.
So she agrees with us.
Yep.
At the end of the tape, someone burst in and demanded Virginia stop recording. I think it was Clive.
This is starting to make sense now. This is a conspiracy to cover up what happened to George.
Yes.
I think I found Clive's last recording. I think Clive might be gone.
Gone?
I found a confession. Not for any killings, but for playing a part in covering up George's death. He left this behind in case he died. He hoped someone would find it.
Do you think the whistling man already got him?
Possibly. We've had a lot of callers tonight, but maybe not every victim made it to the phone, you know? We don't know how many there really are.
Christ, Forrest, that's dark.
I know, but Clive said he had read about other murders in other towns, and that the murders were all folks who knew about the incident. And the killings were getting closer to Gallows Creek. He said he wanted to do something good for once.
The board in his office. He wasn't tracking people down to kill them. He was tracking them down to save them. Ugh, why didn't he just come out with all of this?
He said his employer threatened his family if he spoke out about any of it.
His employer? The one who orchestrated the cover-up?
Mhm.
Oh, Clive. I'm sorry for thinking you'd killed all those people. Do you think you found everything?
I think so.
Forrest, what's going on here?
Someone
soll ich das
wanted that
wissen?
boy's death to seem like an accident. And they hired Clive to make it look that way.
Come back upstairs when you're ready. We need to figure out our next step.
3 Uhr. Ob ich jetzt...
God, you're back, Forrest. I've been running out of stuff to pad our airtime with.
Peggy, you work in radio.
Forrest, I'm stressed. I mean, really. How are we supposed to keep a show going with all this happening?
Beats me. But we gotta do it and we're going to.
You're right. So, what's the plan now?
I think we should call Virginia back.
All right, I'll get her on the line.
Eigentlich wollte ich doch die Sachen mit hochnehmen.
Okay, Forrest, shut the music off.
Hello again, Gallows Creek. This is Forrest Nash. We're circling closer to the truth behind tonight's events. To
Nicht
this
gut.
end, we're calling back one of our earlier callers, Virginia Sullivan.
Fredman Plunker here? Who's this? Is it you?
Sehr gut, dass er immer noch da ist.
Goose?
Plunker, hey, it's the radio man, Forrest Nash.
Radio Man? What's up?
Solving mysteries, saving lives. The huge.
Right on.
Plunker, what are you doing at Virginia's house?
She asked if we could stay to keep an eye out for that whistling turd. So we're hanging out, bro.
Well, that's big of you, Plunker.
No, it's nothing.
Can I speak to Virginia?
Sure thing, Radio Man. I'll just go get her.
Mach
Who
das.
is this?
Hey, Virginia, it's Forrest. I'm glad you're still okay.
Oh, Forrest. Sorry, I'm still jumpy.
Don't be sorry. You've been through a lot.
I'm so sorry this happened to you, Virginia.
I thought I was. I thought...
Easy. We're not calling to talk about earlier. We're calling because we think you can help us understand why this is happening tonight.
Me? What would I know?
Du weißt viel.
Does the name Clive mean anything to you?
Clive? No. I don't know that name. What are you asking about this for?
You mentioned that name earlier when you called us the first time.
I don't know what I said then. I was petrified, Forrest.
Clive's the janitor at our station, and we know you spoke to him in the past.
Forrest, please. You don't know what you're doing. He'll come for me.
Virginia, it's okay. Clive won't be coming after you.
We think Clive's dead.
Dead? But isn't he? He's the whistling man, Forrest.
Why are you so certain Clive's the whistling man?
Because all those years ago,
It's okay, Virginia. He's gone. We found evidence to suggest well...
And we found your autopsy reports for George Barrow.
How? I saw him destroy them.
Well, he didn't. I don't know if he kept them or made copies or what, but we found them, and we know it's related to what's happening tonight, which is why we called you. Why did you write a false report?
All right. One day, I came into work to find a boy on my slab. And as I finished the autopsy, this man, Clive, he just burst in. And he started making demands to give over the reports To falsify what I found? Of course I said no. But, well, when someone wants to make you do something, they can use the carrot or the stick. For me, he used both. You see, my sister is sick. She has a chronic condition that's never going away. It's expensive to treat, and it was getting to where I couldn't afford it. And Clive promised me that his employer would pay for my sister's treatment if I did what he said, and that if I ever spoke about this, he'd beat me to within an inch of my life. I don't know why he had me do it, but my sister needed me. You have to understand. She needed
Das
me.
ist okay.
We
Virginia.
understand.
Thank you, Virginia. That was brave.
God, I just want this nightmare to end.
This will help end it, Virginia. Thank you.
Stay safe, Virginia.
So, und jetzt?
So, Virginia's tied up in all of this.
Clive threatened her to keep quiet about George's death. But for who? Why cover up these details?
Wegen dir. Ich sag's, du bist es, Peggy.
Well,
Warte.
we know Sandra was involved in George's death. Do you want to call her?
I do.
All right, but before we go asking questions, I think we should know what we want to ask. Is that fair?
Yeah, we need to ask her about finding the body. She was the one who discovered it, but something just doesn't add up.
100%. She knows more than she's saying.
I wonder what she's hiding.
We'll hopefully find out soon. Anyway, just be careful when you're talking to her. Don't push too hard. We don't want her to hang up.
I'll be careful.
All right, calling her now. Hopefully she's at her jazz studio. Aha! Forrest, you're through.
Hello, this is Sandra at Jazz Pizzazz Jazz Studio. Who is this?
Hello again, Sandra! It's Forrest Nash of 189.16, The Stream. And you're live on air.
Oh, I always thought folks called into a radio show, not the other way around. How jazzy. What can I do for you?
Well, we're trying to understand what's behind the attacks tonight. We had a few questions.
Why, Forrest, of course. Heck, after the way you saved my life, I'd say yes to just about anything you asked.
Das würdest du dir gleich nicht mehr.
Really? Well, that sounds nice. I might just call you back tomorrow then,
Was?
too.
Das hat doch damit gar nichts zu
You
tun.
got my number.
Hä?
But what about tonight? Is there anything you want to talk about right now?
Remember why we called, Forrest.
Of course. Do you know why the Whistling Man might have targeted you?
Ha! As far as I could tell, he was just a knife-wielding psycho with superhuman cardio. He'd have chased after anybody.
Right.
Hä? Ich hab überhaupt nichts gedrückt.
Well, we think he might be chasing specific people. People who know about the death of a boy named George.
Oh, I don't know anything about that. Sorry.
Sandra, we know you found George's body. We have the police report.
I don't know what you mean.
It's okay, Sandra. We know.
You do? You know about?
Yes. Of
Of
course.
This studio is my life. After I found the body in the river, I couldn't lose my studio. Do you understand?
Hä?
Sure. I understand.
When the rent just kept going up, he said he'd stop if I just needed to keep quiet. And everything would be okay.
Hä?
Sandra? Who was he?
He said if I told everyone I found the kid in the reservoir instead of the river, I'm sorry.
Ach, du
I
kannst das.
can't do this.
Fug.
And she's gone. I don't think that could have gone any better. You truly did great, Forrest.
Well, folks, if anyone out there has any thoughts on what's going on tonight,
Ich
Please,
weiß was.
call
Jetzt lass
in.
mich doch mal in Ruhe
That's
gucken.
good timing. We've got a
Nein,
call
wir müssen
waiting
wieder was
just this
gucken.
second.
Okay, warte. Wir gucken jetzt noch ganz kurz was, weil wir haben doch diesen dieses Ding gefunden mit diesen
Call waiting. Better take it.
Klappe,
They might need our
Peggy.
help.
Dieses Theaterstück, wo doch dieser der George Barrow war doch der Henry und die Macy Cartwright war Dawn. Gibt's hier eine Macy Cartwright? Nein. Das ist lustig. Wer ist Macy Cartwright? Aber die Mary Campbell, die rechts oben ist, die war Anne.
Call
Aber
her
wer
on
ist
line
Macy
one.
Cartwright? Weil das ist ja die Dawn, die uns anruft. You know? Also die ist irgendwie noch ein Mysterium.
Welcome to 189.16 The Scream with me, your host,
Hoffentlich müssen wir jetzt
Forrest
nicht jemanden
Nash.
retten.
Hi, Forrest. I know this is really out of the blue with everything happening tonight.
Das ist doch schon wieder der
But I
Typ.
wondered if you could send this special birthday message
Das ist
to
doch der
my uncle.
Ding.
You want to do that now? Really?
Why? Of course now. It's his birthday. I won't have a chance to do it again until
Du
next
bist aber der
year.
Josie Pizza.
May as well, Forrest.
Fine. What's his name?
Thank you, Forrest. He's my Uncle Ronnie. His first name's Peter, but he never liked his name. But since he always had salt and pepper hair, even as a kid, can you believe it? Folks always called him Pepper.
Thanks for the history lesson. Is there anything besides happy birthday you would like to say to Mr. Pepper? Oh my God, damn it!
Yes! Tell him he can get the best birthday deals and party packages here at Putney's Pizza. Starting at just...
You son of a bitch! Stop calling us!
Siehste?
Damn it, Peggy, this is your fault.
My fault?
I said I didn't want to do it.
Don't blame me because Brian Ponte can't control himself.
Ah.
Don't worry. We've already got another caller on the
Noch
line.
einer.
Just pick it up, okay?
This is 189.16 The Scream. I'm Forrest Nash. You're on the air, caller. Caller.
Da lacht doch einer. Der lacht doch.
Ponte.
Ponte's Pizza always delivers. Come rain or sleet or whistling man, we'll be there.
Das ist so bescheuert.
Forrest? Forrest? Are you okay?
Gleich
Forrest?
I hope the whistling man gets in with his own pizza slicer.
Jesus, Forrest?
Sorry. That was too much.
It's okay. It's been a high-stress night. Don't worry
echt?
about him anymore, okay? Not for tonight, anyway. I think he's spent for now. We've got another call, whenever you're ready.
Wie auf der Loch. So soll bestimmt wieder irgendwen retten. Ich will jetzt aber trotzdem wissen, wer diese Mary Campbell ist. Steht eigentlich
We
diese...
have a call waiting.
Ja, jetzt nerv mal gerade nicht. Warte mal, der Chuck Brody war es ja auch nicht. Und wie hieß dieser andere nochmal? George Barrel. Der ist da auch nicht drauf. Der Barrow ist nicht drauf und die Macy ist nicht drauf.
I suppose I should take this call.
Wir sollten die Anne eigentlich noch anrufen. Mal davon abgesehen. Aber bevor ich jetzt diesen Anruf annehme, sehen wir uns in der nächsten Folge wieder. Bis dahin. Ciao.